Hi everyone, I'm Jen. Yes, I'm in bed. I'm not getting out of bed for you. I lay down a lot. It's just today's an extra big day, and I feel like I'm traveling, like I'm in an airplane or something. Not because of the earbuds, but it just feels weird, and my whole body's vibrating. It vibrates all the time anyhow, but it's vibrating more. So whatever. I'm just gonna do this from laying down. Okay, sorry. Um, I've had another sync happen, and so I was wondering if maybe I needed to share this story. I know I've shared it before on my original channel. Um, so I've had a lot of syncs, and I'm not going to talk about the fun one this morning, Sharky, so don't worry. But a my Emmy sister from the beginning, hi Pat, mentioned the movie Ghost, and I told her, I said, I was just telling my new soul sister Sylvia about the movie Ghost, and which for me, I've actually had that experience where I am letting someone hug someone else through me. And so let me go to the beginning, how to describe this. Um, so I call these happy, unexplainable happenings. They're just HUH, question mark, exclamation point. Because sometimes you go, huh? How is that even possible? And then sometimes you're like, ah, this is so awesome. So, okay, so just to let you know, there's two different stories that end up intertwining. So the first one is I dated a guy. I have several unexplainables happen with him. We were definitely connected as well. And his mom, named Miss Betty, came through me a few times. So, okay, so that's one story. The second one is I'm getting an ultrasound for some doctors could not figure out what was wrong with my GI at the time, and it was just so similar to doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with my heart the other time. But now I'm looking back, and because I am a person that can frequently feel the ME changes before other people start noticing that they're happening or that they've happened, I have a feeling it was related to the kidneys and liver at that time. But anyhow, there I am on the table, and she's working on me. She has the goop on me. Sorry, I'm in bed, but I'm not getting up for you. Okay, so my shirt's tucked under my bra, and my my tummy's exposed, and my jeans are zipped down and folded under. So I'm like exposed, so it's kind of weird to receive a message, and I'll show you. It goes like this when I receive an unexplainable, and so it's like a prompt, and just so you know that I only ask to help people if it's in my highest good and in their highest good. And I also several times a day say a love bubble. Only those who have my highest good and the other's highest good intended may come and stay. The rest forever go away. So that's just my love bubble to protect, to filter. So I'll just call her the lady who has the goop on me and doing the ultrasound. I'll just call her the nurse. So the nurse, is working on my stomach, and then I get unexplainable, sends me whatever the verbiage is, the knowing of mother, but not your mother, and a few times, and there's discernment with everything that comes through me, and I'm kind of stubborn. And even though these unexplainables, all but one, the big vision that I got in 2015, and again, the solar eclipse, all but one have had a sweet ending. I used to say happy ending until, whatever, I realized what I was saying. So everything, gets checked off at the end. So, I honor it, but I do, question things first. And I'm just like, this is so hokey. I'm going to be like some psychic. Now, people want to put that name on me. I'm just Jen. I'm not professional anything. I'm just a professional experiencer. But so I didn't want to be one of these psychic, is there someone in the audience whose name starts with, I didn't want to do that. And I just didn't feel like mother, but not your mother. That's whatever. It's just not enough. But then this just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and faster and stronger. And so I honored it. And while doing a gut check and a heart check, Jen, needed to decide. So I decided, and and so the nurse, I said my usual spiel. I said, I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual. Well, now I know that's not true. I said I did not grow up with any religion. I did not grow up with any spirituality. So I have nothing to sell because I am spiritual now. Since age 31. But sometimes I see things, do things, feel things, know things. I don't know how it works. And I'm getting something for you. I'm getting mother, not your mother. Does that mean anything to you? And she just, she's very polite, very professional. And she goes, no. And, I'm just like, I told you it's not enough. So whatever. So it gets quiet again. She's working on me. And then, I think this is part of another religion where I get movies and I point here, but it's on the inside somehow. Does that go in? Anyhow, oh, by the way, ladies, we are also getting a receding hairline in case you're interested in covering your forehead. Jason and Shane, just cover your ears for that part. I know you guys don't like hearing about me seeing your changes, but love you guys. Okay, so I see a movie here, and I see it's like I'm in a car and I'm driving by a mall, and on the outside of the mall, there's different store names, like J.C. Penney, but this one was Bebe, and so I say it out loud because I figure it's for her, and I say Bebe, and she stops. She stops doing her goopy thing, or the machine thing, and she just stares at me. And so obviously it means something to her. And so then I'm nervous for her because I can feel her nervousness too, because it's like I can feel her shock a little bit. And then so then I start talking. I'm like, am I saying it right? Because I lived in Madrid and I might be saying it with a Spanish accent. And she goes, no, you're saying it right. So I won't share how he died, but it's a childhood friend that died, and that was his nickname. And so at the end of our back and forth talking, she explains that she found out about this at when she was an adult because Bebe's mother did not want to tell them what happened when they were children. And I said, but I don't think this mother, but not your mother, is Bebe's mother. I don't think so. And so that allowed her to then I got it again, mother, but not your mother. Okay, this is where the Miss Betty comes in. Remember that guy I dated's mom came. She kept interrupting. And I've never had one visitor, I don't know what to call these, one visitor interrupt another visit. So I was kind of scolding her. And she's always with me. She's always here when I'm sharing this part because, she's Miss Betty's a sweet Southern woman. And I was kind of, I was annoyed with her that she kept, because she went the very first mother, not your mother, and she's interrupting. And I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. You can have your turn another time. And then, let me see. And then she interrupted again after talking about Bebe's mom not being her mom. And no, they're not the same person. So, I guess maybe that's a new thing. We don't know. But no, I don't think so. Okay, so then the essence of the mother that's not your mother came through for the nurse because I guess she was ready now. And I could feel her. and she felt like a matriarch, and I could not think of that word. And so I said, it's like she's a person who's the top hen and taking care of all the baby chicks and other hens, and they all listen to her. And she goes, matriarch? And I said, yeah, matriarch. Why didn't I think of that word? And so, I'm like, well, who do you know that's a matriarch? And then, Miss Betty's interrupting again. And then, so then the nurse tells me about her, and it's her grandmother, and it's her grandmother who raised her. So that's the mother that's not the mother. And guess what the grandmother's name is? Miss Betty. So Miss Betty number 2. So I think Miss Betty number 1 was just trying to be helpful, and here I am scolding her. And anyhow, I also think if you're able to handle this, what I'm saying about seeing dead people or feeling or sensing, whatever verb you want to use, to me, there's actually another level. If you've seen the movie Contact by Jodie, is from my understanding, is that it's the energy of loving kindness, which some may call God or the universe or whatever, but loving kindness expresses the message, the intention, through specific energy. So I actually believe that I just shut myself up because I feel like I'm saying too much. So sorry. Let's just talk about seeing dead people. Okay. Yeah, because something just shut me down, so I don't know why. So that's not the end of it. The Whoopi Goldberg part. The lady goes back to processing about Bebe, about Miss Betty number 2, and she's quiet and she's processing. And so I'm quiet, and I always am thankful, and I think that I could do this for the person. And then Miss Betty number 2 wanted to hug her, and I'm still laying down on the table, and maybe that's why I'm laying down for this video, so you get it from this perspective. I don't know. And then I went, no, I'm not going to do a vertical hug, and this is my body. And so I've experienced others being in there, but I have that love bubble, and it's very important whom you let in. And so I'm like, no. I said, she wants to hug you, and I don't even know if you want a hug, and I said, do you want a hug? And she's just like, and when she looks at me, that's when I could tell that she had been crying, and she turned into like a little girl, energy wise, just like, and so I'm like, well, let's, so she was already finished up. She just hadn't removed the goop. So I think Miss Betty 2 was waiting till the end. Miss Betty number 2. But then, so after I get cleaned up from the goop and then dressed properly again and standing upright away from the table, we hug. And how it is Miss Betty number 2, it's like she puts on elegant long gloves. Not that I'm elegant, but that's what it was like. And so she slips into my arms, and she still lets me be in my body, although the more it went on, I was further and further back left, which is usually where I go, and just to give him space, I guess. And then Sharky will know what I mean. There was a point where I couldn't feel their hug, even though I could see what was going on. Sharky, what we were doing this morning. Okay, so then so it was like our own little, they were in their own little bubble within my bubble, and then, or our bubble, and then the woman wants to take her right arm. Oh, when they first hug, they wanted to do, the nurse wanted to do one arm under and one arm on top. You know how it's even on both, for both people exchanging a hug, and this mama bear, Miss Betty too, was like, nope, and she had put both her arms up top. But now she wanted to take the right arm and put it on top of the nurse's head. The nurse had already put her head down to the bosom, which bosom, I don't use that word. That's the word Miss Betty too uses. But she wanted to put the hand on top of her head, and that's when I guess free will, am like, no, and I did not allow the hand to do that, the arm to do that in the hand, and so the nurse then looks up and she's confused, or startled. And I said, I'm sorry, she wanted to put her hand on top of your head, and I'm very ignorant on this, and I apologize, but I don't know why, but I know that I'm not supposed to touch a black woman's hair. So she smiles, and there's a very human experience with our three spiritual selves going on. And so she explained that her hair was fine. Doesn't have a weave or the perm hair, whatever, because her hair was short cropped. And yeah, look at the forehead. It's creeping up. Anyhow, her hair is golden blonde with a short crop, and she said it was fine to hold her hair, to touch her head. So we then went back into that zone, and it was the most beautiful hug, because Miss Betty number 2 could physically hold her and have her child acknowledge her, like see her, feel her. And it gets emotional for me because I pick up on the like, I want to cry. It's as if my dead grandmother walked in the front door. Like, I don't know, I would be crying out of joy and sadness. So anyhow, sorry. So she was crying, and her body's shaking, with crying, and then it, again, there's that separation of what Sharky and I had this morning. So, like, I let them have their space, or whatever allowed them to have their space, and then it was over. And then she was no longer in my arms or anything, and we kind of summarized it, the nurse and I, and then I gave her a hug, and I told her I love her, and then it was time for me to go, and I walk towards the door. I'm already by the door. It's a huge room for some reason, and I walk all the way, and I'm no longer facing her, and then I can hear her, which is another unexplainable. It's another and basically she's not wanting Miss Betty to go with me. And so I turned around. I said, are you right now asking, saying goodbye to her, like she's going with me, and that you don't want her to go with me? And so she's quiet because she's, emotional. And I said, oh, no. She's been with you all along, and she is with you, and you can talk to her anytime. And she's not been with me this whole time. Sometimes I wonder about Miss Betty, but she does seem to pop in when I share this story and those other unexplainables involving Miss Betty and this person I dated. But so that was nice that I got to hear her, because it's like I heard what was in her heart, so that I could comfort her and let her know, no, Miss Betty number 2 is with you for sure. And 18 minutes. Sorry, guys. I just have to share, because I do think that us being able to see the other versions of the other vessels of the essence of our loved ones in the Mandela effect, I think you know what I mean. I think it's related to being able to see dead people. It's just other essences, just in different forms, And I believe what I was saying before is that we're just all translations of energy, and I'm like out of breath. So I don't know why I'm not supposed to talk about that. Seeing dead people or knowing, whatever. I love you. Mwah.